All right, ladies and gentlemen, there's been some exciting news today, right? So let's talk about this Akai and Native Instruments collab and what they're really bringing to the table, right? I'm super excited, right? I don't know if y'all saw my previous video on the 5 reasons why Native Instruments is struggling today. And in that video, I talked about them collaborating with other companies like Akai. And here we are today, right? So for the first time, Native Instruments Play Series instruments and expansions are fully available. Well, some of them, right? Some of them are fully available and optimized for the MPC hardware. That means if you got a MPC Live, MPC-X, Live 2, Key 37, 61, you can access Native Instruments pro level sounds without ever leaving the MPC environment. So let's talk about what's new. First, we got the Play Series instruments. These are iconic for their in-depth versatility, their ability to really inspire creativity. This is awesome. I'm gonna tell you right now, this is awesome, right? So the MPC right now features Analog Lab, Cloud Supply, Nacht, Homage, Sway, right? So right now you got 5 of their Play Series. And trust me, their Play Series over at Native Instruments are dope. I love their Play Series. So now you can use these Play Series directly in MPC3. Each one of these brings a unique flavor to your productions. Analog Dreams delivers warm retro synth tones straight from the 80s. Cloud Supply, which is one of my favorites, brings this type of ethereal pads and atmospheric leads and sounds and is great for trap and ambient and lo-fi and chill type beats. And then you got Nacht or Night, right? Kind of leads you into that dark cinematic side. They got like brooding textures and intense soundscapes and just some amazing things in that Nacht Play Series. And then you have Homage, of course, which is a homage back to the vintage era with those types of vintage soul inspired sounds, giving you that rich type of nostalgic vibe. And of course, Sway, which is for jazzy lo-fi tones where you got the like lush chords, progressions, and warm textures. Now, once again, I love the Play Series from Native Instruments. Yeah, I talked about some stuff about Native Instruments in my previous video, but one thing I do love about Native Instruments are these Play Series instruments that they develop, and now you got them right within the MPC ecosystem. Secondly, you have MPC-optimized expansions, right? So there's been a long time when you may want to use your Native Instruments machine expansions in MPC, and now you can actually do that, right? So Native Instruments has reformatted their expansions specifically for MPC users so that you're not just having to go to the machine and then go to the MPC to kind of use these different sounds. Now you can use Akai and MPC, Akai and Native Instruments, right, directly in MPC. They're just not copy and paste from the machine, right? They are specifically crafted and remade for the MPC, right? You're getting ready-made loops, ready-made kits, MIDI patterns, samples that integrate seamlessly into the MPC workflow. Beautiful, right? I talked about it. I love that. That is an amazing collaboration. And so you're gonna get the expansions that you're gonna get is faded reels, which are lo-fi textures, tape style drums, warm melodic sounds, right? Perfect for that nostalgic hip hop feel. Lone Forest, which actually is kind of like an older one, but you get the Lone Forest. I wish there were some others that they provided, but Lone Forest is good, right? They kind of give you a different feel because this is really about dubstep inspired sounds with, deep pads, reverb drenched elements directly from Lone Forest. Global Shake, which is all about Afro beats and Afro inspired club sounds for high energy productions. You got Hazy Days, which are like your soulful hip hop vibes, where they got rich keys and smooth basses and laid back drums. And then you got Rare Vibrations, which is like a mix of jazz and neo soul and experimental elements to add character and texture to your tracks. So having the expansions directly in your MPC from Native Instruments is going to be a game changer. And then third is that Akai and Native Instruments bring the NKS support to some of our favorite MPK series controllers. So this means that for models like the MPK 249, the Mini MK3, the MPK Mini Play, and the MPK Mini Plus, you can now seamlessly integrate with Native Instruments software, which allows you to enhance your production workflow. So to celebrate this, right, Akai is offering exclusive free bundles of Complete 15 Select, and you can choose from 3 curated editions. Now, I'm telling you, these are things that I've been talking about, and this is probably only the beginning, right? So I talked about creating genre curated type packs. So in Complete Select 15 that you can get, they have like a Beats edition, which is perfect for like beat makers. It includes synths and sounds that are ideal for like pop and hip hop and R&B. And then you have the band edition, which is geared towards like songwriters. It gives you sampled keys and guitars and bass and drums and synths and everything you need to, help you in that songwriting process. And then you have like an electronic edition designed for electronic music producers. This bundle includes powerful synths and sound design tools, right? Suitable for like techno, trance, and classic house. Once again, genre specific bundles. That way I know I don't produce techno stuff, so I don't care about that. That's not what I do. Other people do, and that is perfect for them. Me, I'm probably going to buy the beat maker or the band, something like that. Perfect, right? Each of these different editions is packed with instruments and effects that are ready to use right there within the MPK controller. That is so amazing because it makes it easier than ever to create the music that you love directly from your MPK. So if you are an MPK user, this is a fantastic opportunity to expand your sonic palette and streamline your production process. This is a big deal, ladies and gentlemen, for both of these brands, especially for producers like us. But is it everything that we've been waiting for, or is this just the beginning? I'm going to tell you, I think this is just the beginning to something that you're going to see. I'll get into it in just a couple minutes, right? So I'm going to save that here for a moment. But let's get to the good stuff, right? What makes this partnership between Akai and Native Instruments a win for both companies and for producers like us? So first, I would say that this collab massively expands your sonic arsenal. Native Instruments is known for their high quality sounds. I mean, they are an instrument company. This is what they do. Sure, they got machine, but they are an instrument company. So it would be expected that they would make great instruments and eventually partner with companies like Akai to offer their instruments and sounds on their platforms. I mean, they are an instrument company. This is what they do, right? They have had a closed system, but now they or it looks like they are going to start having a more open system where they're going to allow, I'm going to get to that in a second. Wait. So like I said in the beginning, I mentioned this in my 5 key reasons why Native Instruments is struggling today video. And it's the fact that they need to collaborate with other companies to provide their instruments and sounds cross-platform. They're an instrument company. This is what they do. These sounds have been completely rebuilt to work perfectly with MPC hardware. That means no more clunky setups, no more compatibility headaches. It's just simple. You just simple load, you tweak, and you play your analog dreams, your cloud supply, your Nacht, your sway, whatever it may be. It's right there. It loads in just like a regular MPC plugin. And it's optimized to the MPC workflow. You can focus on creating instead of messing around with settings or converting files using other converting kit maker to have your expansions and things like that, right? So there's ways. Let me tell you, I'm going to be upfront with you. There's ways to get the Native Instruments packs on your MPC. Now, if you know what I'm talking about, you know, kit maker, that you can convert your Native Instruments sound expansions over to machine kit maker, and you can use them right on your MPC. Trust me, I know you could do that. So let's talk about workflow next. So for those of us who love the hands-on feel of the MPC, trust me, I still love the machine. I know a lot of people don't like the machine. I still love the machine. I love the MPC. I have both, right? So that tactile experience, that tactile feeling is great. But now I don't have to jump from both. If I want to use the MPC, I got all my Native Instruments tools right there in the same environment. is a huge time saver. So instead of, once again, going back, machine, well, I'm looking over here because I got my MPC and my machine and stuff right here, but everything is right there in my MPC. I don't have to go from the computer to the hardware. Everything I need is in one place, right? Once again, keeping that tactile experience without sacrificing sound quality and flexibility. Another pro is the sheer quality of these sounds. I mean, they are an instrument company, so we're talking about pro level presets and kits that are radio ready, sync licensing ready, or any project that you're working on. No need to spend hours tweaking to get the polished sound. It's already built into the MPC, the Play series, and the expansions. So for Akai users who've been eyeing Native Instruments for a while, but they didn't really want to switch to a different type of ecosystem, you're pretty much getting the best of both worlds in this update. You know, you don't have to go and learn Machine or learn Complete, Control. You can access those same high quality sounds right inside of your MPC setup. And finally, this feels like just the beginning. If Akai and Native Instruments can keep building on this partnership, we could see even more cross-platform tools and innovations that take our music production to the next level. So yeah, this partnership is a big win for both brands, but especially for us, the producers, the beat makers, the creatives, looking to elevate our sound without complicating, rather, our setup. But of course, it's not all sunshine and rainbows, right? I would like to say that, but it's not all sunshine and rainbows. You're gonna go watch a whole bunch of other videos of people showing you how these different things work. And they're gonna be like, yeah, it's a great thing, but they don't go any further than that. I'm gonna talk about the catches, the pros and cons, right? What about other Native Instrument users? So like, if you're already a Native Instruments user, this part might sting just a little. Like me, I was like, are you serious? I can't do that? So here's the deal. If you already own the Play series or these expansions for Machine or Complete, you know what? They ain't gonna work in the MPC. I was like, oh man, I was looking in Native Access to see, do I have a license or something that I can transfer over and put here because I already own it? Nope, right? So if you already own and you already spent your $49 a piece on Play series for each of these, and trust me, I have all of the Play series, Melted Vibes, Homage, Nacht, Analog Dreams, Cloud Supply, Glaze, whatever the Play series are, I have all of them. But they're not gonna work in the MPC unless I purchase the MPC version. So yeah, you heard that right. I spent money. I dropped money on those packs, and they're not directly compatible with Akai's system, the MPC, period. None of them. So you're gonna need to repurchase the MPC specific versions, which are sold separately. So right now the expansions go for $39 and the Play series are $29. Now all the expansions and Play series are readily available. So you're gonna have to wait for those to be released, if they're going to be released. I can foresee that they're probably going to be released, but you can sign up to be notified on Native Instruments website for new releases. Also, there's no cross-platform licensing or discounts offered for users who already own these series or expansions on Native Instruments platforms. So if you already got them, so that means if you've been a loyal customer, like your man's right here, right? If you've been a loyal customer of Native Instruments for years, you're gonna have to come off that bread and spend, and pay the actual price for these same sounds on the MPC. Now, this is not a review video where I'm showing you what it does and how you can tweak and all that. Go watch somebody else's video for that, right? They got tons of people who are doing that. But what I'm talking about are the real deal, right? Like, you're gonna have to spend that bread on the same sounds on the MPC, which of course is gonna be a duplication of instruments because you got Cloud Supply on Machine and Cloud Supply on the MPC, and you paid for it twice, right? So it'd be great if they did offer some type of cross-platform pricing where if you purchase the Akai and the NI version, you pay one price for it, right? Since they're like me, producers and creatives who utilize both platforms in their workflow. So if I could just pay like one price and get the NI and Akai bundled version, then let me get that. Or if I'm on MPC only, let me get that one, and then I'll just pay the regular price for the NI. But at least say, hey, we hear what you're saying, we feel what this is, so we'll give you like a discounted price or something. But now I gotta go pay full price for the Play series one and the expansions, and I already own them on Machine. Now, of course, $39 and $29 ain't gonna break the bank, so ain't nobody really complaining about it. I know y'all gonna jump in the comments and be like, oh, $29 and $39 is not that much. But still, for people who ain't got a lot of money, it can be. And that's the point, is that you've already spent $49 and $199 or whatever you had to pay. Well, that's Playbox. I think it's $199. Yo, if they put Playbox in here, that's good. Like I said, it's only the beginning. Now I get it. These things have been reformatted, right, to work seamlessly with Akai's MPC hardware. That takes time, effort, resources to be able to recreate all of those. But for existing users, it does feel like we're double dipping. And that's tough to justify if you're already invested in the Native Instruments ecosystem. So that brings up the bigger question. Is it worth paying again for the sounds and instruments you technically already own just to use them in the MPC workflow? For some, the answer might be yes. I mean, I purchased them, right? I didn't get them free because like some content creators, but I purchased them and they actually work seamlessly. Now, you want to see how they work, go watch somebody else's video. That's not really what the purpose of this video is. It's really just to talk about some of these things that other people may or may not have considered. You know, for others, as I was stating, but for others, you know, I mean, can they afford 29 or 39 bucks? It could be a deal breaker because I already paid some money into it. So yeah, for existing Native Instruments users, this partnership has some big hurdles that people may have in order to justify the payment. The cost, the lack of licensing flexibility might leave some people feeling like they're being left out in the cold because of that. But if you're not in the NI ecosystem and you love their Play series and you've been loving their expansion, you've been eyeing them going like, hey, if I could use that in here, that'd be a no-brainer. Now guess what? It's a no-brainer. You're gonna get the best of both worlds right in the MPC. So you gotta figure out if it justifies you buying them again. I mean, essentially, you could just open up Contact and load Analog, Dream, and Cloud, Supply, and Nacht right in Contact in your MPC and get the sounds that way. Oh, you can't do that. That's right. You can't do that. Why? Because there is no desktop version of the MPC 3 yet. Maybe. Akai. Which begs to actually, I've been thinking about this part, which begs to answer the question, if they're providing these instruments this way, what does that eventually say about the desktop version of MPC 3? Will we see more collaborations where Akai is partnering with leading instrument and sound companies like Native Instruments and Arturia and Spectrasonics and Expert Records to develop standalone Akai versions? Akai seems to be really leaning heavy into bringing back the MPC to its roots as a true standalone powerhouse, right? I mean, if you had an MPC back in the day of 4,000 or 3,000 or 2,500 or 2,000 XL, whatever the case, 2,400 XL, I had an old MPC and I bought it and I was like, I don't like the SCSI drives and all that, and I sold it. Now, my partner, he still uses, he has a 3,000, well, both of them do. They got a 4,000, a 3,000, a 2,000 XL, 2,500. They got too many of the classic ones. I mean, but that's where it started, right? It started as standalone. I think they're gonna, my own thing is, I'm thinking they want to get back to their roots. Now, can you imagine if they took it a step further by teaming up with those companies, right? They're already doing it with Native Instruments, Arturia. Can you imagine Analog Lab on here? Or Omnisphere, Trillion, Keyscape on the MPC? Directly there, you can just, I'm still, once again, looking over here. On the MPC, and you can create sounds using those tools, right? They got them in standalone versions directly in the MPC. Oh, that would be a game changer, ladies and gentlemen. Like, you're gonna have all of your sounds, next level sounds and plugins running directly into your MPC. No computer, no extra hassle. Everything just loads up. Now, of course, there's limitations, right? How much RAM is your system have to load up all those plugins? I mean, how much storage space do you have to load up all those plugins, you know, to hold all those plugins? But it could be that they're trying to go back to it. They could simplify the process. It could give us producers more creative freedom, keeping everything self-contained, just like the MPC was always meant to be. I don't know. So moves like this could really set Akai apart and solidify their dominance once again in the standalone production arena. So what's the bottom line? If you're an existing user, you know, you got to weigh the pros and cons. Does the idea of using NI's high quality sounds directly on your MPC excite you enough to justify the cost? Or is sticking with your current setup the smarter move? This partnership has a lot of potential. Oh man, trust me, when I saw this, my brain immediately went to work on the different possibilities. But whether it works for you depends on how you use your gear and if you're willing to invest both money and time. Now I want to spend just a few moments talking about the business side. So this partnership signals a shift in how music production companies are approaching their users. So instead of locking producers and creatives into one ecosystem, they're starting to recognize the value of collaboration. I mean, companies and Native Instruments and Akai have been doing it for a long time, right? I don't want to say that they haven't, but they haven't partnered with each other, right? Native Instruments has partnered with Sound Iron, other design companies, but not like a competitor, or what you would say is a competitor, as with Akai, right? This could pave the way for other major players in this particular field. So imagine if FL Studio and Roland kind of teamed up. Or maybe Ableton creates like an Arturia type of plugin, right? What if these companies start to say, hey, how can we get your sounds in our systems? And maybe even create a device that works in Ableton, but loads up Arturia sounds. You can create it or, control it from some type of Ableton X device or whatever they want to call it. I don't know, I'm making stuff up. But the possibilities are now huge and endless. Of course, there's still going to be some challenges for Akai and Native Instruments, right? They need to address some of the key issues like offering discounts. Once again, I'm going to go back to that, offering discounts and cross-platform licensing for existing users to ensure that these tools are continually updated and they keep pace with the fast-moving industry. Because once again, I got both on both sides. I have the Native Instruments versions and now I also have the Akai versions. If they work in tandem and all of those are updated the way that they're supposed to, this partnership is going to be something that sets a new standard for collaboration in the music production space. So what did this mean for you as a producer? It's simple. We already know the industry is evolving, and opportunities like this will give you more ways to create and innovate. But whether it's this partnership or another partnership, it all comes down to how this fits into your overall workflow and whether you're ready to embrace the new possibility that it brings. I mean, imagine if they included, Native Instruments talks about this whole AI thing, right? Which I mentioned in my other video. What if they included some AI type features in their software that now is built into the machine? I don't know, there's possibilities, right? I don't know who they got at these companies thinking about these ideas, but you're right, they gotta have big brains. That's all I'm gonna say. It is your turn to consider. Do you jump in and say, yes, I'm going to do it? Or do you go, I'm not really sure yet? What do you think? Is the future of music production this, or is this just another marketing money grab play? Are they saying, yeah, you can use that stuff, but you got to come out of pocket again? Is it worth it? I'm gonna tell you, for me, it was worth it. I was like, yeah, I'm going to get those. And there's, you'll see. If you purchase it, you'll see. Let me know in the comments what you think about this collaboration between Native Instruments and Akai. If you've seen my previous video, you already know I talked about this in that video. All right, I'm out, ladies and gentlemen. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe. Make sure you hit that notification bell so that you can stay abreast of all the things that are happening here on We Create Music TV. Make sure to check out our podcast episodes. Make sure to check out our interviews. Make sure to check out our master classes and music panels and mini documentaries and all the things that we got, music career tips, etc. Once again, thank you for tuning into the video. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.